Hi guys, hope your weekend is going well and you're really putting your heart and soul into your CAT preparation. We will now continue with our verbal series. We already have finished basic concepts and some CAT questions in reading comprehension and parajumbles. This session will focus on two question types, the odd man out and paragraph summaries, right? So before we dig into that, hi, I'm Munira Lokhandwala and I am Calcutta alumna, a serial 100 percentiler in CAT and 99 percentiler in GMAT. I have a CAT verbal book published by Wiley and available on Amazon. You'll find me on Unacademy YouTube live channels. You'll also find me on the Unacademy app. Guys, please go ahead, search for the app, install the app, go for the Plus CAT courses and get subscription. Which subscription to go for, guys? I'll talk towards the end of the session. You can use the code Munira10 to get a 10% discount. There are a lot of values that you will get in Unacademy, a host of good educators and possible good new educators also that will come in. So it's a never-ending treat of learning, right? Great. Let's start off with a puzzle I gave you all last time and how to solve it. Okay. So some of these puzzles that I keep doing with you all, one of the puzzles I had done was this, skiing ratio, and this one also, for example. They are potential CAT questions, guys. So they are thought-provoking questions and hence puzzles in that sense, but they can also be a CAT question. Okay. So you can't move diagonally, you can't move backwards. You are, 8 by 8. So let's just do this with a smaller number. Okay, we are moving with a 3 by 3 grid. Not completely symmetrical. So you are here and you want to reach here, right? So you are at the bottom left, you have to go to the top right, bottom left to top right. You cannot come backwards. So it has to be a journey that's full of only tops or rights. Okay. So 2 steps, let's see, right? Keep it symmetrical. In 2 steps, you reach the diagonal. In another 2 steps, this is one way, right? And totally, you'll need 6 steps. For a 3 by 3 matrix, you will need 6 steps, right? Because you have to totally take 3 steps somehow. If you take all 3 of them straight, right, up, you will reach the top left. But you have to go to the top right. So you need another 3 steps, definitely, right. That will take you to the top right. And you can mix and match, right? It need not be that you first straight away go up. So essentially, if I write down what your 6 steps can be, any of these steps could be a up or a right. But can I have all 6 ups? Can I have all 6 rights? No. I have to ensure that there are exactly 3 ups and then the remaining have to be 3 rights. So the question basically boils down to, out of these 6, which of them are going to be, let's say, the 3 ups. Once you find out the 3 ups, the remaining places you can't decide what to do. You can't do a left, a down, right? The remaining places have to be rights. So guys, you know the number of ways, whenever you have these questions of number of ways, they are basically asking you, where do you have choice? How many choices do you have? So in the beginning, you have this choice of saying which of these 6 places, may say, 3 will be ups. That is where the choice comes. Okay, out of these 6 places, when will I take the up step? Right? Let's say you're climbing a hill, no? So if you're climbing a hill, you will try and do a little bit of right and then a little bit of up, right? You will not do a lot of ups together. That's where the choice is. If you're very fit, you may just want to do all the ups together and then go on top of the hill and enjoy the view by the time you reach the top, right? So that's where the choice comes in. Okay, so you decide, okay, in how many ways can I choose 3 places out of 6 to make them up? And once you do that, guys, once you make those 3 places up, do you have any choice left? No, the remaining 3 places have to be right. And since there are no choices left, the rights can be filled in exactly one way. So the whole question is this, in how many ways can you fill this? So out of 6 places, you have to select 3. So that's 6C3, which is nothing but 20. Right? How does this 6C3 come about, guys? We'll discuss this when we are doing permutations, combinations, right? But you can just think of this as, I can choose the first place in 6 ways, the second place in 5 ways. Once I choose the, which of these is going to be up. So the first place can be chosen in 6, the second in 5, the third in 4, and then I will triple count. For example, let's say I choose these 3 places, 1, 2 and 3. I will count them as 1, 2 and 3. I'll count them as 1, 3 and 2. Right? So I will count these 3 places, not even triple counting actually. I'm sorry. You are going to count each place 6 times. So you have to divide by 6. That's how it will work. We'll understand this a little bit more when we are doing permutations, combinations. But if some of you are already comfortable with it, then you can see why the answer will be 63. So this is how we have solved apna 3 by 3 ka problem, guys. Have we solved our problem? No, our problem is 8 by 8. So you come down to 16 places. You have to take 16 steps, out of which 8 needs to be selected as up. So the answer is 16C8, right? And those of you who are enthusiastic about finding this number, you can go ahead and find it. It's basic maths, but I'll just write down what it will look like. It will be 16 into 15 into 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 and 9. These 8 numbers, you divide by 8 factorial. So that's 1 into 2 into 3. 8 factorial is all numbers from 1 to 8 multiplied. You can cancel some, right? And then you'll be left with a proper integral answer. So 3 and 5 goes off, 15 goes off. Then you're left with 4 and 6. So 12, and if you cut off 14, then you can cut off 7 also, and your answer is going to be hence 13 into 11 into 90, 143 into 90, which is not such a bad number to find out, right? It is 143. So dekho, na karte we found out the number. Okay. Yeah, so what is this number, guys? This is 87 here and 1287. Correct. 1287 in fact is, 13 into 99. So 1287 and a 0. That's your answer. Great. Okay. Let's now do some English. So we have, as I'd like to remind you all, guys, this is the 3rd session. In our earlier sessions, we have, first session we did RC, so we didn't do anything involving paragraphs, right? But we also in RC, we saw how to understand paragraphs better, sentences better, right? Then in the second session, we worked with para-jumbles where we did these type of questions, these type of questions and these type of questions. Today, we will focus on these 2 questions. Okay, so before we start off with find the odd sentence out, we'll do a little bit of para-jumbles. Okay, so that we get into the groove first of all, and then we can actually distinguish the difference between para-jumbles and odd sentence out. So we'll start off with 5 para-jumble questions, some of them simple with options and some of them are type in the answer. So again, guys, what do I say? Please pause, solve and then come back for the solution. So, the world watches as an enormous tragedy is played out. An infinitesimal part of this is. The larger story is. So when you see the larger story, you have to wonder where is the smaller story. Right? I've told you all, please try and just read the few sentences in the beginning. So when you see the larger story here, you should wonder where is the smaller story. Here is the smaller story. Right? And if you see D and E, the doctrine of collective culpability holds an entire people responsible for what a few have done. And E explains that the Lebanese have been deemed guilty of Hezbollah's action. So first of all, you have a clear link of A and C. A talks about a smaller story and C says larger story, right? So if you look at A and C ka option, guys, you straight away come with only one option, A and C link. And if you check that link, then it makes complete sense. You first give the general doctrine of collective culpability, then the specific that Lebanese have been deemed guilty, and then when you're talking about Lebanese and Israeli, then you say the country is scarred once again by Israeli bombing. So B continues that very well, followed by A and C. So your answer is option 4, right? Great. Second question. So it's a type in the answer. You will have to decide what the order is without having options to look at. Okay. So if you just look at the first few words, this is not a very difficult question to solve. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not a very difficult question to solve. Yeah. The thing is, you have a 2 somewhere, right? Have to go before catching up. Currently in the process of expanding, has announced plans to build a second airport. Already boasts. So not 2, you have an already here, right? Already boasts. At current capacity. Kiska current capacity? Current airport ka capacity. Can handle. But, so ye but bhi hai. So there are a lot of hints, guys. Okay. Beijing, currently in the process of expanding, has announced plans to build a second airport. Right? Abhi, yahan pe we have written Beijing, yahan pe we are writing China's capital. Which will come first, guys? The proper noun comes first. So D has to come before C. And C के बाद E आएगा because you are saying current capacity of the airport. But in the future, you will need an airport. Now the whole question lies as to where B will come. The distance Indian airports have to go before catching up with those in China just increase. So it's like an announcement, right? If I was writing a newspaper article, I'll start with this. It just increased. Why? Because Beijing has announced plans to build a second airport. It already has a silky, smooth 6-lane highway. At current capacity, this is what they can handle. But in the future, this is what they are expecting. So you see how completely this thing falls into place. Your answer would have to be the announcement, followed by the announcement of the second airport, current airport, capacity, and then in the future problems. So the answer is B, D, C, E, A. Great. Now let's look at the third one. For the US as a whole, the first 6 months of 2006, I'm writing this in New York in early August. Europe is experiencing an unusually hot summer too. Nevertheless, city employees could face. Okay. So, we can, all of us, I'm sure, agree that A and C are linked and this is their order. US as a whole were the hottest. Europe is experiencing an unusually hot summer too. So, ये AC का link, all of us will say straight away. Now, our job is to find out where will AC come. Because B, E and D, right? Now, this is not their order, but let's just see. You are writing this in August. Mayor has declared a heat emergency, right? Nevertheless, electric usage has reached near record levels. So D is connected to B and it comes afterwards. But what about C? C is talking about the emergency measure. So it is not C, sorry, E. So B के बाद E होना चाहिए, which talks about the emergency measure. After which you are saying, nevertheless, electricity usage has reached near record levels in California also. Okay, so you have New York with its heat emergency and then California. So ये तो है BED, AC है. Now the big question is it like this or is it going to be like this? So guys, I want to ask you if you're writing something, right? You are going to say, okay, US काफी गर्म है, Europe भी गर्म है, and then you'll come back to New York. Is that how you're going to write? No. You may start with New York, where you're saying it not just New York, even California is how you end. From these two together, you are saying US, hence, overall, as a whole. So New York, California, they are the two ends, right, of the continent, the east and the west. So US as a whole. And after this, you are saying right? After this, Europe. So your order has to be BED and then AC. Great. Let's look at the next one. Next one is prima facie a little easy, but you have to be a little careful. Okay. As per the report. So that's the report introduction. And then the report clearly indicates, the report also illustrates, clearly indicates, also illustrates. Green, blue and orange also. यहाँ पे pink razor has been quite a rage. So ये दोनों colors के हिसाब से हैं. So I need to introduce colors first, right? So B is the best beginning, and you can see all options start with B because B introduces the report, right? And after I talk about the report which says कि fashion and price, everything else talks about color. ये भी color के बारे में बात करता है, right? This talks about color, this talks about color. Motorola Razr, and these are the latest instances. This is the one that does not talk about color. Okay, but if I'm talking about these things and I'm going to talk about color later, I need to introduce color ASAP. So B के बाद होगा A. There's another reason why you will have a gap between A and E. Right? So some of us can argue, okay, why is it not B and C? And then A and E. Right? And finally D. Because E or D ka the relationship very clear hai. Right? Pink razor has been quite a rage, also green, blue and orange. So E or D, they have to come together, B starts. The thing is that, so this is an important, again, English learning, right? Okay, E talks about the report. A also talks about the report. If I have one after the other, I will not talk about the report again. I'll use a pronoun. Yahan pe I'll say it also illustrates. So if I'm doing this, right, that the report clearly indicates that color phones are generating strong interest. It also illustrates. I will not say the report also illustrates. That will be repetition. Because I don't have a pronoun here, there must be a gap between A and E. That's why the answer has to have B, A, and बीच में the instances of C, right? Then again यहाँ पे report था, यहाँ पे report नहीं है, so you again talk about the report. So report also illustrates, finally ending with D. So your answer is option 4. So guys, please keep this in mind that I cannot have two sentences, starting about the report. If it's the same thing, then I will just use a pronoun. If there's no pronouns used, there must be a gap between the two sentences, right? Great. Let's look at the fifth question. Fifth question, not that difficult. You have one, of course, is money, and the other resource, तो वो तो link है ही. And you have non-profit organizations depend on two resources, so it has to be C, right? And then E, and then A. So ये दो link has to be quite clear, right? One, of course, is money, and the other resource, and depend on two resources. Now, just as vital but perhaps even more scarce is leadership. B talks about that as an example, and D gives a generalization. So this is what you guys, always your generalization will come before your example unless this is a conclusion. If it is a conclusion, the generalization, then the example के बाद generalization आएगा, right? But यहाँ पे you're saying indeed qualified may be even rarer than six-figure donors as one. So you see, when you say as one here, the as is an example to something. So it has to be CEA, which is an introductory thing, ending with yeah, it is scarce indeed, and as one highly, right? So this is your order. Wait a second, you have CEA and D, B. CEA, D and B. Right? Great. Now we are moving on to odd man out. Now the first question you need to ask yourself is, which question type is easier? Are jumbled paras easier or the odd man out easier? Clearly, it's the odd man out, right? Because you don't need the exact order. You just need to find a sentence that doesn't connect with the other sentence. What the order of the other sentence is not important. But when you do enough para jumbles, so why did we do para jumbles before we did odd man out? You should be able to see the connections. If you see the connections, then you can say, okay, yeah, out of these 5 sentences, B and C are connected, so they cannot be odd man out. So that seeing the links, seeing connections is important. You may not get the final right order, guys, but you need to be able to say that these sentences are connected, right? A, C, D and E are connected. B alag hai, so B answer hai. This is just an example. Okay. So guys, please remember that पैरा जंबल्स का जितना प्रैक्टिस करोगे ऑड मैन आउट का ऑटोमेटिकली प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगा. You don't need to do anything special for odd man out. Okay, just keep doing a lot of para jumbles. Do odd man out also, but odd man out is the easier version. If you do enough para jumbles, your odd man out will work out by itself. Okay, great. So 5 sentences related to a topic are given below. 4 of them is a meaningful, coherent, short paragraph. Ha ha. For some people, some of these paragraphs will not be short. Identify the odd one out. Okay. Litigants are suffering. Writ petitions are supposed to provide quick relief. Arrears of cases are piling. Speedy trial is a, they're saying speedy trial and drag on. Everything, guys, is saying that time बहुत लगता है. Everything is taking time, right? Time is the binding variable in all these maths. Sorry, time is the common variable in all these sentences except one. Yes, if you see D says justice is never served. So sometimes you can find odd man out because it's going against, right, the common thread, and it is also extreme. Is there anything else here which says justice is never served? If you know this sentence was that justice is served late, or maybe something like better late than never, which is about time, right? Then I would like those sentences, but this is saying never served. It is extreme when nothing else is, and it is not about time, right? So answer is option D. So once you see, you do a lot of jumble paragraphs, you will be able to see the connections, right? Great. Let's do the 7th question. But the government is obligated not to repeat such an oversight. The amendments are not just about file notings, they seek to completely exclude people. It created a public uproar and the government put the project on hold. About 9,000. We could lose our right thanks to the proposed amendment. Okay. So, first of all, ये 9,000 pages और ये तो connected है ही. This is what, right? Created a public uproar and the government put the project on hold. And we could lose our right to information thanks to the amendment and amendments. These two are also together. What about A? Can I put A with something else? But the government is obligated. Who is the government obligated to? Right? We are saying that government is trying to amend the right to information so that they don't have to really reveal information, right? But यहाँ पे when you say government is usually obligated to the public, but if government puts the amendments, then they are doing it not because they are obligated to the public, but they are doing it for selfish reasons. So saying is obligated not to repeat. They would like to repeat, right? If they are obligated to public, they will have more such RTIs, right? Get this clear. If the government does based on public obligation, they would go ahead and have more RTIs. But the government is selfish, in which case there is no obligation. So A is a very confusing statement. And what oversight? This is not an oversight, right? Somebody is going ahead for an RTI information thing. That is not an oversight. So your answer is option A. Right? So again, if you find even 2 sentences connected, you can go ahead and say that both of these are not going to be odd man out. And if you get 2 pairs of 2 sentences, then usually the one that's left is the odd man out. Right? Great. Let's apply this on other questions. China is running out of cheap labor and precisely in the area of maximum manufacturing. The PRD which encompasses or PRDC, okay, यहाँ पे PRD हमने use किया है, यहाँ पे PRD explain हो रहा है. So D has to come before A, and D and A are related. In the last couple of years, however, the inconceivable appears to be happening. China is running out of cheap labor. That's the inconceivable. तो ये CDA भी connect हो गया. The China miracle and economic renaissance that has seen the country has largely been powered by a cheap, ostensibly bottomless pool. In the last, however, the inconceivable appears. So जो bottomless है, वो उसका bottom आ गया. That's the inconceivability, right? So E is also connected. Some of these words are tongue twisters. Okay, so all these words are. What about apna this bichara akela lota sentence? Economically ahead of its contemporary. तो कहाँ हमने comparison किया है? We are not comparing China to anybody else. We're just talking about China miracle, China cheap labor. It's China, China, China only. There's no comparison. So B is the odd man out. Right answer is option B. Great. Question 9. Sometimes you can find the odd man out because there are two similar sentences and only one of them will go. Otherwise, the second sentence becomes a repetition. So, what I want you all to do is in these A to E, read the sentences again, guys. Pause, read it again, and tell me which two sentences, right, are similar. They can lighten the energy burden and reduce dependence. What is they? It's the biofuels, right? It can be seen as a suitable tree bone oil seed. In India, the use of sugar as an additive to control is on partially. It is self-evident that biofuels hold out the promise of significantly easing the impact. Now, if you see, C and E are similar sentences. Hold out the promise, easing the impact will be a panacea for all oil crises throughout the world. All crisis, right? अभी दोनों sentence में रखूंगी तो it will seem कि यार this is right. Of course, one of them is enough. I don't need both the sentences. So which sentence will we eliminate? See, if you see D and B are connected, right? If you see these are the biofuels that E is talking about, so A is also connected. Our job is mostly to decide between E and C. So what will we go for, guys? We will go for the non-extreme option. Ongoing, for all throughout the world. This is extreme. Right? They can lighten, see what are they? They can lighten the energy burden. They can't make the energy burden disappear. Right? Reduce dependence. Bringing down, not eliminating. So these words are all mild. Right? Easing the impact is much better than saying it's a cure for all oil crises throughout the world. So C is out, C is the odd one out, and E will go with the tone of the other sentences. Right? Great. 10th one. India is home to 50% of the world's hungry. I don't know how it is after the lockdown, guys. It's been a very tough time. The world's largest democracy, the third largest producer, the third largest defense spender, India cannot protect its children. More than half of the children. So you can see B, C connected. E also connected. B also talks about hunger, connected. D is the problem. Why achanak are we talking about women? Where will we put this C? If I look at D, right, it's very convenient to say that D should come after E. The worst affected are children, the second worst are women. Okay, no problem. But C and B have to follow. So I'll say, okay, worst affected are children, second worst are women. Now let's again talk about children. That won't happen. There is no logical flow there. The next paragraph may start with the second worst are women and then talk about women. But in the same paragraph, you cannot say children, women, and now let's talk about children again. That is why D will be odd here. So your answer is D. Right? Great. Now let's move on to another new question type, which is your paragraph summary. So what is the thing that you are looking for in a paragraph summary? What should the right answer look like? It's a very confusing thing for most students. Right? I mean, there's so many ways in which I can summarize anything. There's the elevator pitch, right? And there's a roller coaster pitch. It depends on how many words you want the summary in, right? So if there can be a very good short summary, a medium summary, a long summary to anything. What the cat is asking for you, right? As I've told you guys, you're never looking for the right summary. No. You are looking for 3 wrong summaries. Always, English may you're looking for wrong options, not right options. So the thing is now, what makes an option wrong? So our first job always is to say, Arey, this is not spoken about in the passage. So something that is not there in the passage makes it wrong, right? Then extreme options make things wrong, unless the passage is extreme, जो नहीं होता है. ओके अगर सब ऑप्शंस जो बचे हैं 2 राइट ऑप्शंस जिसमें कुछ रॉन्ग नहीं है बचे हैं देन यू सी वेदर इट कैप्चर्स द मेन पॉइंट और नॉट. सो मेन पॉइंट समरी का तो आप बाद में ही सोचो. पहले सोचो कि क्या जो ऑप्शंस में लिखा है इज इट इवन देयर इन द पैरा समरी. बीइंग रॉन्ग गाइस इज अ वर्स सिन. Right? Being wrong is worse. So you always will look for whether whatever is there in the option, is it mentioned? Right? So out of scope, if it is not mentioned, out of scope you will remove. If something else is mentioned, then it is wrong and hence you will remove. And only when you have 2 or 3 options where everything seems right, then you look, is it capturing the main point? Okay? So great. Now let's try and put this in action. Why don't you all read? Pause this, read, and we can look at the video solutions. Modernity comes from modo, meaning just now. It's about novelty, constant reworking of nature into concepts. One of these concepts is human equality, from which can come individualism, the goal of the American Constitution. It has a large-minded liberality of governance. The contrived newness of systematic production of novelty elevates method over substance and reason over nature. It works well in politics, but it leaves us vulnerable to eager beaver intellectuals and academics who want to reform us. So modernity puts an emphasis on consistently redefining concepts. Bola gaya hai, it's there. Constant reworking of nature into concepts. So constantly redefining concepts. Perfectly okay. In the context, it makes sense in that this is appropriate in politics, works well for us in politics. But in other spheres, it allows for unnecessary redefinitions. Perhaps it leaves us, right, who want to. So this may be okay. It seems okay to me. Means reworking old concepts into new. अरे ऐसा थोड़ी लिखा है कि old को new में कर रहे हैं. Of nature into concepts, not old concepts into new. This makes sense. But academics thereby get a reason. So we are actually, imputing a reason to academicians, which is uncalled for. We uncalled for bhi thoda extreme hai, right? Intellectuals and academics who want to reform us, but they should not. Or why should they? ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं है, right? So ये uncalled for is extreme. This old concepts into new is also not always true. So option 2 is wrong. Modernity is the means to an end, but when the means become more important, the ends become vague. So you can see, guys, it's completely out. Means, end, कुछ भी नहीं बताया है, right? Academics are the upholders for modernity on it, and this leads to problems. So again, you can see this is not anywhere close to academics. Last में mention किया है, and that too in reforming us, they uphold modernity is wrong. So your answer is option 1. Right? First option. Great. So now I hope you've got the gist of how to go about it. Why don't you try the same technique on the 12th question, which is your second para summary question. Even by those that practice it not, it's like written in the old language, that clear and round dealing is the honor of man's nature, and that mixture of falsehoods, which is lying, is like alloy which may make the metal work the better, but it debases the metal. Are the goings. So this actually, guys, right, we wonder why is lie called lie, lying down, because a serpent lies down and not upon the feet. There is no vice that doth so cover a man with shame as to be found false and perfidious, lying. False is lying, right? And therefore, the reason why the word of the lie should be such a disgrace and such an odious charge is that if it is well weighed, is as much to say that he is brave towards God and a coward towards men, for a lie faces God and shrinks from man. So they're saying that when you lie, it's not as if you're lying to God because God knows everything. Okay, great. So lies ruin a person's character in that they might be effective. ठीक है, बोला है lies help, right? But it demeans the liar. ठीक है. This shame is best expressed in terms of fear of God. But they're saying, right, that the lie faces the God. Faces God, not the God, faces God, right? So there is no fear of God with respect to lie. If you see a lot of options talk about it. Okay, the lie faces God, he's brave towards God, there is no fear. And the lie actually is lying to men. So the person is fearful of men. That's what it's saying. So this completely goes against. Lies ruin a person's character in that they are effective, but it demeans the liar. Fair enough. Lying is a contradiction. That's what they're saying, right? That it means a person is more afraid of others, of his stature, but less afraid of God, a superior being who knows everything. So this is a little extra, but this is extra is true, right? God is a person who knows everything. Lies ruin a person's character is to continuously think of ways to not get caught. No, it is not about thinking of ways. वो तो है ही नहीं कहीं पे इधर. So 3 is out. It's wrong. Lies affect a person's character is constantly haunted. Haunted is an extreme word, and as I am saying, there's no fear of God here. He is brave towards God. So the only one that gets that out properly is the second option. That is your answer. 13th question. The state is by nature clearly prior to the family and to the individual, since the whole must come before the part. If the whole body is destroyed, there will be no foot or hand. So they are saying that your state is the whole. State means country, right? And we are the parts of this country. Family comes later, individual comes later. If you destroy the whole, the country, if you destroy the country, parts cannot exist by themselves. But things are defined, and we ought not to say that they are the same when they no longer have the proper quality, but only that they have the same name. So even if a hand, after destroying, you can't call it the hand, right? Because they no longer have the same working and power. The proof that the state is a creation of nature and prior to the individuals is that the individual, when isolated, is not self-sufficing. And therefore, the individual is a part in relation to the whole. So they are saying that individual alone cannot live. So the individual has to be a part of the state and the state has to come before the individual. Now if you see the options guys, यहाँ पे शुरू में nature लिखा है. But this nature here is not talking about दुनिया का God's nature, right? It's talking about the state by nature, like a definition. So some options here talk about utility of nature is dictated by who controls it. No, there's no nature. So second option is out. Human beings appear superior in the ability to mold nature. There is no nature. So third option is out. It is either 1 and 4. One should always look at things in a holistic manner. Instead, this is not talking about how one should look. It is talking about how human beings are incomplete alone and the state comes before human beings. So man is a part in relation to the state which can be considered as a whole. If the state is removed, man will be unable to function and this makes the state prior and superior. So ये लिखा गया है. So this is extreme, I agree. Unable to function is extreme, but यहाँ लिखा गया है कि man is not self-sufficing. So unable to function works. So your answer is option 1. Right? 14th. Is based on men staring at goats. A movie also was made on it. It's a reasonably funny film. Maybe you can check it out. Men who stare at goats or something. Okay. So यहाँ पे you have 2 sentences that are important. This whole example is just talking about why those two sentences are important. So या तो summary में तुम्हारा it will summarize the example, या the example may not even be there and it just comes up with the conclusion. If you see यहाँ पे the example is not there in all four options, nowhere are they talking about examples. That means I need to see which of these four options talks about our conclusion clearly. Are subjective and closely guarded? No, they are not, secretive and closely guarded. They are brought out in the open. So one is wrong. People are seen to create events that people are seen. It's like saying people are lying. Are people lying? That's what they are saying. No, this is extreme, not warranted. So two is out. Blank out. They're not blanking it out. What is the main sentence? What people remember rarely corresponds to what actually happened. They're not saying there's any blanking out, right? Why that happens, we don't know. Why people don't, remember thing as it actually happened, we don't know. This is giving reasons. So this is also out. ये अच्छा है ना, issue of what is professed and what happened are different things. So what actually happened is what, second part, and what is professed is what is said. So answer is option 4. Right? So we just focus on the first two sentences properly, you'll get your answer. 15th. Oops. Counterfeiting is big business, but China needs to protect an even bigger one. So counterfeiting, making fakes is big business for China, but China needs to protect its proper business also. Future invest in its economy, bahar se bhi and domestic. Leaders want state of the art from foreign companies. Antho seems to be getting its fair share of Western businesses willing to open. Rampant piracy may give internet potential investors pause. Why will Apple go and invest there if they think all their, plans and all are stolen and there's some faking happening? At the same time, even domestic concerns will be there for investing heavily in R&D, right? Because unka bhi counterfeiting ho sakta hai. So foreign and Chinese investors alike should get together and step up the pressure on Beijing to forcefully crack down on counterfeiting, right? So although making fakes is a big business, it is likely to damage the country's future. One seems good, yeah, there's nothing wrong with one. Right? First option mein, there's nothing wrong. It is big business, likha hai, it is big business. It's likely to damage because if you don't protect the bigger one, and needs to encourage foreign investment. Is in a tough situation of trying to balance the country's foreign with its brand image. Brand image का तो बात ही नहीं हुआ है. This is out of scope. Second option is out. Is likely to risk anti-populism. अरे populist और non-populist का तो बात ही नहीं हुआ है कि what people want, what is popular. Out. Although making fakes is a big business in Chinese economy, it is likely to damage the country's future. Fourth ka first sentence is fine. At the same time, the presence of powerful companies which produce fake goods is putting pressure on the government to discreetly encourage it. No, not at all. This is not mentioned. Second sentence is completely wrong. First is fine. So our answer is option 1. Right? Great. I hope you learned a lot, guys. More or less, this finishes the basic concepts that you will need to solve your verbal questions. After this, we can just do more and more practice. Okay, so we'll have verbal sessions beech mein, but we'll do more math sessions because we have a lot of learning left in mathematics. Right, basic concepts are left. We have just started with arithmetic. There's numbers, etc. But just because there's less to learn in verbal, guys, that does not mean verbal is less important. I have time and again told you all that being good at verbal, being good at reading really helps you throughout the CAT paper. Pura paper English mein hai, right? So the more you work on your verbal, guys, the faster you will be at reading comprehension, the better you will be in your personal interview or group discussions. IIMs don't take group discussions, I know, but other colleges do. So the better you are at verbal, the better you will be at communicating, the better you will do at your jobs later on. So guys, don't ignore verbal, right? Work on it. Before I move away, here is your puzzle for the day that we'll solve tomorrow. What is the square root of this number? Don't use a calculator, don't use Excel. Try and think of how you would solve it by hand, right? And of course, this is your reading assignment from Live Mint. Live Mint, the lounge edition especially, has a lot of good articles. I would recommend that you go for the Live Mint newspaper, right? Um, where will we meet next? Tomorrow we'll have a session on DILR, and then Monday onwards we'll get back to maths. So I'll see you tomorrow for DILR. Um, please go ahead for an academy subscription, guys. There are really a lot of features, right? You have great educators, great live classes, special classes that are free. Special classes give you an idea about what the live classes, actual paid live classes, are going to look like. And you have a host of instructors who are already there, who are waiting to join in the wings, right? And then great doubt solving sessions also. So guys, go ahead for the subscription. Which subscription to go for? If you're focused on CAT 20, please go for the 12-month subscription. We'll also be there to guide you for a personal interview. And if you are looking at CAT 20 or 21, go for the 2-year subscription, right? You can use the code Munira10 to get a 10% discount. And I'll see you soon again on Unacademy. Bye bye. Take care. See you.